Hey everyone, welcome back to another class. This is class XP in which we are going to discuss if, else, if, elif and nested if else statements. Again, reference is taken from Geeks for Geeks. Yes, Geeks for Geeks is again the reference site. I hope you have gone through the last video because it was really important. This was part 6a. Okay. We discussed the kind of statements like single decision, single result statement, if else pair, and if elif else pair. Okay, we can also use if and elif without using else statements. Again, we discussed indentation, so I'm not going through the basics in this video. I will be hard coding today. Okay, we will be learning some basic algorithms and the if else statements in some more detail. Okay, so I decided to make some modules for Python uh, in which the whole syllabus is divided, and these modules are actually taken from the syllabus of Essentials of Information Technology from UIET KUK, because I am pursuing BTech there. By the way, this video is again brought to you by in association with IOSD UIET KUK. So the syllabus module 1 will end up at 4 loop. Okay, so the loops, that is the next class 7a and 7b, or 7a probably will be the last class of module 1. So you will be having around 2 to 3 months to practice the algorithms with list, 1D array, and various other variables, then if else and loops. After that, after around 2 months, based on the response of module 1, I will be making the module 2. So make sure to subscribe the channel, press the bell icon for upcoming videos. Share the video as much as possible because your response is really important for me to judge that if I need to make the another module for Python or not. Okay, so second module will contain the unit 2 according to the syllabus of EIT. The unit 2 will contain the leftover of muted and unmuted objects like tuple and dictionaries, sets. Continuing with the Python, it will contain that is classes and functions and more. Okay, so coming back to the today's topic, it's about if and else and elif and nested if else statement. Okay, coming to the reference link. Yeah, so decision making in Python. So there comes situation in real life when we need to make some decision, and based on these decisions we decide what to do next. Okay, so similar situation arises in programming also, where we need to make some decisions, and based on these decisions we will execute the next block of code. Firstly, the important thing is that if, else, or elif, actually if and elif only, not else, works on boolean input. Okay, this means that if will work okay, if will work if true, it's like that, and elif also will work elif true, like that. Okay, we already discussed this boolean data type in previous videos, so check them out. It was just a reference here. Okay, so that's the decision. Basically, a decision may be true or it may be false. There's no third possibility. Okay, there's just two possibilities: either it's true, that's one, or it's false, that's zero. Okay, so okay, if else, nested if, and if elif ladder. Okay, you can check all these from the reference link, and links are going to be in the description, so check the description too. If statement initially, so if statement executive condition is true. We have discussed this type of syntax. Okay, if condition statement 1 statement 2. Okay, so if statement is the most simple decision making statement. It is used to decide whether a certain statement or block of statement will be executed or not. That is, if a certain condition is true, then a block of statement is executed, otherwise not, as we saw in this example where we check the person is eligible to vote or not. Okay, so this is a basic flow chart. So we give some text expression. If it's true, then block is executed, and statement just below if is executed, and if it's false. Okay, so the command just or your control just jumps to the statement just below if. Okay, so it's a basic code here. Then comes if else. Okay, so the if statement alone tells us that if a condition is true, it will execute a block of statement, and if the condition is false, it won't. But what if we want to do something else with the condition is false? Okay, so here comes the else statement. We can use the else statement with if statement to execute a block of code when the condition is false. So we also looked at this example, like if the age was not greater than equal to 18, we printed this. So in these cases we need else statement. If we want to execute something, if the decision is false, then we use else statement. Okay, one more important point that I didn't mention here, that actually you can perform it like this. If you can also perform the action with if if false, you can also perform it like this, and elif false. In this case, if the statement is false, then the block after if or block under if will be executed, otherwise the statement just next to if will be executed. So for example, how do I explain you if false? Like if but it will automatically turn out to be true. Okay, it's basically true only, but what I means by false here is we can use this expression basically. Let me write it like that only. Why to confuse you guys? Okay, it's just that we can use this expression. This expression is known as logical note. We also use it in relation that if 3 not equal to 0. So this statement is actually true, but what I meant by false is that we used this operator. Okay, it's the not operator. So if 3 is not equal to 0, which is true, the next statement will be executed. That's simple. Okay, so in practical applications or in code actually, this statement is only working. So if same statement is true, the if block will be executed. Okay, again the flow chart, text expression, then true, then body of if will be executed. If false, the body of else will be executed, and statement just below if is common, and it will be executed thereafter. Next is nested if. So if you have multiple, we didn't discuss in the last class. Okay, let's discuss this initially. If you have multiple decisions, basically multiple decisions. Okay, multiple decisions, and the results of decision depends on result of previous decision. If this is the case, okay, so if there is some decision whose result depends on the decision on the result of some previous decision, okay, if there exists some kind of decision, then we need to use the nested if or nested if else. So let me just write it like nested if else. So yeah, nested if else. Let's see what nested if else is. So for example, write a program to, okay, WAP means write a program to check if a person is adult, if yes, say is he studying or is he earning. If both statements are yes, print pay tax. Okay, so basically if there is person who is adult and he is also earning, then I need to print pay tax. Now for example, there is some case in which he is adult but he is not earning, so we will be printing else print no tax. In all other cases we are going to print no tax. Okay, or you can say that we print no tax here, and if he is not adult then print not adult. Okay, so it's really easy to understand that what I'm going to do is to check the age of a person, and if he is or he or she is okay. Sorry for that. Okay, so I will be checking if a person is adult and if he or she is earning or not. If he or she is earning, then I will print pay tax. If he or she is adult but not earning, I will print no tax. And if he or she is not adult, that is his or her age is less than 18, then I will print not adult. Okay, so you can see that this decision is dependent on this decision, that a person can only earn if he is adult. Okay, so this decision depends on the result of this decision. In such cases we need to use the nested if else. Okay, so let's start. I will be taking two variables. First is age, so age is equal to int input enter age. Okay, I hope you know this int and stuff. Okay, if you don't know it yet, you need to see the previous videos before jumping to this video. And next is on status. Or let me just print something. Print press y for yes. Okay, and n for no. Let me just copy that. Second is on status. Okay, now you can see that I have taken input as a character. You can leave it as a string also, no issue. So if he is earning, he or she is earning, he will press yes, or otherwise he will press no. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to comment this statement and I'm going to use this statement inside the if statement, because I need to input this data only if the person is adult. Okay, so let's start coding. If age greater than equal to 18, it means this if this is true, this expression is true, then we will ask for his or her earn status. Okay, so now we will be asking for his or her earn status. Now if earn status equal to say y, kindly observe how I am writing this y and writing this 18, because age is integer while earn status is character or string. Okay, so if earn status is y, that is he or she is earning, that I need to print pay tax. So print pay tax. Great. Okay, now elif. Now you see that indentation level, observe it very carefully. Elif on status equal to say n, that is he or she is not earning, print no tax. But important is he is still, or he or she is still an an adult, but he or she is not earning right now. Okay, so no tax basically. And the last statement is else. What can be the third case? The user didn't enter the correct input. Okay, else print kindly enter, or just write it like wrong input. I need to test this out. Okay, it just converts it to a lower alphabetic order basically. If even the user enters a capital Y, it will be converted to a small y. We will be seeing it in upcoming session, of course. Okay, so the three cases are if. So I am actually explaining you the nested if else. Okay, the other case can be if he is not an adult or she is not an adult. Okay, else that's if her age is not equal to 18. Now you kindly observe the intonation level very carefully. Okay, so I printed wrong input and then you should exit. Exit basically exits the command. Okay, the loop or this if else statement. It will be used both in loops and if else statement. Okay, now if age is less than 18, then he or she is not adult, so print not adult. Now you will be getting this code at my Google repository or my GitHub repository. So you need to test all the cases I have written here. I will be testing 1 to 2 cases only. That's all. Let's run it. Now what nested means? That these if else statement have been nested under this major if statement. Okay. It asks my age. Let me enter adult age like 22. It will enter this block now because age is greater than equal to 18, and it will oh, I made a mistake. In response to your earning status, I just wrote like press Y or press N. I didn't mention for what. Okay, so it's in response for your earning status. It's really important that you make it very clear to the user. Okay, 22, especially when you are making some application or something. So I made this application for bank in my training time. I will be sharing with you, but yeah, so you need to enter it very carefully, the input and this if else section. It's really important for the projects. Okay, again, suppose I am earning, so I just press Y, pay tax. It entered this block. Okay, so I earn tax means Y. Let me just uncomment that and check it again. Does it make any error or what? 22. Let me just add capital Y again. Yeah, it generates some error. Does it give some help here? Such type of. Is it just low or too low? Okay, it's str.lower. It's not too low, it's just lower. You can actually check Stack Overflow. That's a good feature of Python. Oh, sorry, this Google repository. If there is some error or exception, it just gives a link for search on Stack Overflow. Again, enter age is 22. I hope you have understood this code very well. If you have some doubt, just leave it in the comments. let me just add capital Y. Is it working now? Wrong input. Okay, again I need to write it like on status. This also means that this is working because you can see that I entered capital Y instead of small y. Now I am converting the string into lower string. So if I enter capital Y, it will be converted to small y. There are other methods of filtering too, like you can use a loop and check the length, or just check the length of string. If the length of string is greater than 1, you can just discard that, because discard that input, because the length of string should be 1, because I am entering a single character. Yeah, done. Okay, I hope you have understood this. Now I'm doing something else. Instead of using this statement, you can use this statement. Alternatively, you can use the logical operators. It's really simple to understand this, and I hope you have understand this. If you know the truth table of OR gate, you easily can justify this. Okay, so if the earn status is small y or it's capital Y, it's done. Let's again test it up. Enter age is same 22, and I'm going to enter capital Y. Done. Now I have tested capital Y. Let me test small y, small n, sorry, with age of 28, and small n. Done. Oh, there's some error. Press Y for, it should print no text. There's some error. Let me just enter small n. So you need to actually check all the possibilities before making your application. For some reason it's just going here only, it's not coming here. Now to handle such kind of exceptions, just comment your if else statement and print what's being the input is, like print on status. Okay, now there's no error. Basically what seems to be error is possibly this or statement. So let me just remove that. For some reason it's generating some exception. In my case it's not generating error, it's generating exception. Let me run that again. Dot lower is of course a better way to do it rather than using over. Is it working now? No, done. Yeah, it's working now. Great. So that's how you manage nested if else statement. That was the major topic for today. Coming back to okay, by the way, dot lower or dot upper. Similarly, we have dot upper. These both are also the attributes of string. I think I have forgot to mention them in the last video when I mentioned strings. But yeah, these both are attribute of strings. We will be learning some more attribute of string in upcoming classes whenever we need them. Okay, nested if. So this is basically the flowchart. If and then other if inside it, and it can be many more if inside it. Okay, like pay tax, and then if pay tax is greater than say 30% of salary, good citizen, otherwise bad citizen, and so on. Yeah, so now if elif if else ladder, we again discussed it in the last class only. Here like this, and so a first expression is tested, then a second expression is tested. Basically two decisions are taken at a time. and both decisions are independent of each other, unless or unlike this one where the next decision depends on the results of last decision. Okay, yeah, so that's all. And this is the second last video of, as I told you, my module 1. And after completion of module 1, you will be able to do assignment that I will be giving to you. It consists of basic algorithms. Okay, now you can actually practice many of these examples or recommended posts from Geeks for Geeks or any other site. You just need to practice if else statements. Okay, do check my GitHub account for all these codes, practice with and experiment with these codes. Subscribe to the channel again and press the bell icon. Like the video, share the video with your friends, and of course this is the second last module. I will be seeing you in the second module if the response is again good. So leave your feedback and your doubts in the comment section. And my connection for LinkedIn is given in the description below, so do check it out. And all the reference again are given in the description only, so check them out too. So that's all for today. Thanks for joining today's session. Thank you all.